All right, hey everyone, welcome to this deep dive. It's for all of you out there learning English, especially you folks following the English with Narayana channel. We're going to try to help you sound a little more like a native speaker.
Yeah, that's right. Today, we're diving into these American English expressions.
Right, the kind of stuff you hear, in movies and TV shows.
Right, exactly. And you know what? Sometimes they can be a little tricky. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, you might hear a phrase and you think, oh, okay, I know those words.
Right. You think you can figure it out.
Yeah. But then the whole phrase together, it might mean something totally different.
I've been speaking English my whole life, and sometimes even I get tripped up.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this. We really want to break down these phrases, make them nice and clear for you so you can, understand them.
Right.
And maybe even start using them yourself. It's all about feeling more comfortable with English, right? Yeah, so let's jump right in. You ready?
All right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So the first one we have here is go for it. Now, this is a pretty common one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think this means?
Well, go for it. It's all about encouragement, right?
Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, you know what? Take a chance. Or just do it. Like if your friend is thinking about, I don't know, applying for a new job, maybe a really cool job, you could say, go for it. Apply. What have you got to lose?
Right. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious, have any of you ever wanted to try something new?
Yeah.
Something you were a little nervous about.
Yeah.
How did you work up the courage to finally, go for it?
Right.
Let us know down in the comments. We love hearing from you.
Right.
All right, let's move on to another one. This one is a bit more informal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cut the crap. Have you ever heard this one?
Oh, yeah. Cut the crap.
Yeah.
This is definitely not something you want to use with, like, your boss, maybe.
Yeah.
Or your grandma. You got to be a little careful with this one. It basically means stop lying or stop being dramatic. Like if someone is making up excuses or just not telling the truth, you might say, come on, cut the crap. Just be honest with me.
I get to the point.
Yeah, but, remember, it can be a little rude, so use it with caution.
Yeah, you got to pick your moments with that one. All right, so what situations do you think this phrase, cut the crap, would be appropriate? Let us know down in the comments what you think. All right, next up we have what the heck.
What the heck? Yeah, this one's fun.
Yeah.
I use this one all the time. It's when you're surprised or maybe a little confused or even a little annoyed. Like, imagine you can't find your keys, you're late, you're rushing around. You might say, what the heck? Where are my keys?
Oh, or like when you think you left your phone at home.
Oh, yeah.
Then you check your pocket and it's there.
What the heck?
What the heck, right? All right, have you guys ever had a what the heck moment?
Yeah, share those.
Let us know in the comments. All right, let's keep moving here. We've got give it a go. This one sounds encouraging.
Oh, yeah, give it a go. Absolutely. It basically means try it, right? Like if you've never eaten sushi before, you could say, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. Or maybe you've always wanted to, I don't know, try painting.
Yeah.
You could say, I'm going to give it a go, see what happens.
That's right, just jump in.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? Anything you've been wanting to give a go? Let us know down in the comments. All right, now this next phrase is all about, estimations.
Yeah, okay.
Give or take. How would we use this one?
Give or take. It basically means approximately or like around that amount. Like if someone asks you, how long does it take to get downtown? And, traffic can be unpredictable. You can say, it's about 20 minutes, give or take, meaning it could be 15 minutes, it could be 25 minutes.
Right, depends on the traffic. So think about it, when you have to guess about something, when have you used give or take? Let us know in the comments. Okay, now this next one, this is for those folks who, maybe think a little too highly of themselves.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever met someone like that? They just think they're better than everyone else.
Oh, yeah, we all have.
Well, that's when you might think to yourself, get over yourself.
Get over yourself. Yeah, basically you're telling someone, hey, you know what? You're not as special as you think you are. It's all about being humble.
Right.
And, nobody likes a show off, right?
So why do you think humility is so important?
Yeah.
What do you think about this idea of getting over yourself? Let's talk about it down in the comments.
Okay, here's one we've all probably used before. It slipped my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I've used it.
This one's a classic. It slipped my mind. It just means I forgot. It's as simple as that. Like, you were supposed to call your mom back.
Right.
And you completely forgot. You could say, oh, I'm so sorry, Mom. It totally slipped my mind. Right. It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
All right. So what's something that you guys have totally forgotten about recently?
Yeah.
Something that just slipped your mind. Tell us your stories in the comments.
Okay, so imagine this. You want to give someone a lot of choices, right?
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch of options. What's a good phrase to use for that?
Well, you could say you name it.
Right, you name it.
It basically means anything you can think of.
Oh.
Like, let's say someone asks you, what kind of music do you like?
Right.
You could say, oh, I like everything, rock and roll, jazz, pop, hip hop, classical, country, you name it.
Right, everything under the sun.
Exactly.
So what about you guys? What are some of your favorite things?
Yeah.
Foods, hobbies, books, you name it. Let's have a little fun down in the comments.
Yeah.
All right, now this next phrase, it sounds a little intense, maybe even a bit scary.
Ooh, okay.
Flies off the handle. What does that make you think of?
Ooh, flies off the handle. That sounds like someone's losing their temper.
Yeah, you got it.
So, like, if someone gets angry really quickly, over something small, you could say, wow, they just flew off the handle.
Right, like road rage.
Yeah, or maybe like spilling your coffee and then just like completely losing it.
Yeah, exactly. So have you guys ever witnessed someone fly off the handle? Tell us about it. If you feel comfortable sharing, those stories can be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, we love a good story. All right, this next one is short and sweet.
Okay.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah, how do we use this one?
Well, it's super simple. It just means me too, or same here. Like if your friend says, I'm so tired, and you feel the same way, you can just say, ditto.
Right, gets the message across.
Easy peasy.
All right, what's the last thing someone said to you that you could have replied with a ditto?
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay, moving right along, we have no biggie. What do you think this one means?
No biggie. I feel like this one comes up a lot in everyday conversations. It just means it's not a problem or it's okay. Like if someone accidentally bumps into you and says, sorry, you could just say, no biggie.
Right.
No harm, no foul.
Right, we've all been there. All right, so what are some things in life that you consider no biggie?
Yeah, tell us.
Let's see what you guys think. Okay, now imagine someone asks you if you want to do something and you're like, yeah, I'm totally in. What's a casual way to say that?
You could say, I'm down.
Right, I'm down.
Like if someone says, hey, want to grab some pizza later? You can be like, yeah, I'm down.
It's like, you're up for anything.
Yeah, totally.
So what are you guys down for today?
Let us know.
All right, this next one is all about responsibility.
Okay, responsibility.
That's on you. How do we use this phrase?
That's on you. It's like saying it's your responsibility. Like if you forget to do your homework, your teacher might say, well, that's on you. It's your job to remember.
You got to own up to it.
Exactly.
So why is it important to take responsibility for our actions? What do you guys think? Share your thoughts down below. Okay, sometimes we have to do things we don't really want to do, right?
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
It's a good phrase for that.
Well, you could say you have to bite the bullet, like you're facing a tough situation. You got to do something unpleasant, like going to the dentist.
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes going to the dentist.
Right. But sometimes you got to just bite the bullet and make that appointment.
Right. Just get it over with. So what have you guys been putting off that you need to bite the bullet and do? Maybe finishing that English assignment.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it. All right. So when it's time to finish something, you're ready to wrap it up. What's a good phrase to use?
You could say, let's wrap it up. Like, okay, we've been working on this project all day. Let's wrap it up and go home.
Right. Time to call it quits. So how do you guys like to wrap things up at the end of the day? Let's get some ideas flowing down in the comments. Okay, here's a positive one. When something is super easy, like a breeze, what's a fun way to describe it?
You could say it's a piece of cake.
Right, a piece of cake.
Like that math test was a piece of cake, meaning it was easy peasy.
All right, so what's something you guys find to be a piece of cake? Let us know. Okay, let's say your friend is hiding a secret from you and you're dying to know.
Oh, the suspense.
What could you say?
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
Come on, tell me, what's the surprise? Spill the beans already.
Don't leave me hanging.
Exactly.
So, are you guys good at keeping secrets? Or do you tend to spill the beans? Let us know in the comments. All right, now imagine this. You almost failed at something, but you just barely made it.
Ooh, a close one.
Yeah. What's a good way to describe that?
You could say you did it by the skin of your teeth.
By the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, meaning you barely succeeded. Like imagine you almost missed your flight, but you made it just in time. You could say, I got on that plane by the skin of my teeth.
Oh, I bet that was a relief.
Right.
So have you guys ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah.
succeeding by the skin of your teeth?
Yeah.
Tell us about it down in the comments.
Right, yeah.
All right, now keep an eye on something. What does that mean?
Keep an eye on something. That's like saying watch it carefully. Like if you're at the beach, you might ask your friend, hey, can you keep an eye on my stuff while I go for a swim?
Right, make sure no one walks off with it.
Exactly.
All right, what are some things that you guys need to keep an eye on regularly? Let us know. Okay, finally, when you're done working for the day, it's time to clock out. What's a common way to say you're finished?
You could say, let's call it a day. You're done with work, you're done with studying, and you say, all right, let's call it a day. Time to relax.
Right, time to go home.
Exactly.
So what time do you guys usually call it a day?
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comments. Well, wow, we covered a lot of ground today. We went through a ton of these American English expressions. Hopefully you guys learned something new.
Yeah, absolutely. We really hope this deep dive helps you understand these phrases, a little bit better.
Right, because the best way to learn is to hear them in context.
Right, definitely. So keep listening to English, watch those movies, listen to music, try to catch these phrases in action.
And don't be afraid to use them yourself.
Oh, yeah, give it a go.
Right.
The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Absolutely. So which of these expressions did you find the most interesting or useful? Let us know down in the comments. And hey, have you ever used any of these before? We'd love to hear your experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you enjoyed this deep dive, if you found it helpful, please do us a favor and subscribe to the English with Narayana channel. We've got tons of other great lessons to help you improve your English.
Yeah, and remember, learning these expressions, it's not just about, sounding cool or whatever. It's about connecting with people.
Absolutely.
It's about understanding those everyday conversations and feeling more comfortable, in those situations.
Right. It's like unlocking a whole new level of communication.
Exactly. So keep learning, keep exploring the English language, have fun with it.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
That's right. Everyone makes mistakes. It's part of the process.
Absolutely. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you have a great day and keep practicing that English.
See you next time.